Hey, very good morning and good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Sorry, I just need to get the Windows environment, so that's where it took little time. All right. So if we go with the last session, by the way, so what are we um, and what have we been discussing? We have been discussing a couple of commands, by the way. So one of the commands that we looked in yesterday is a VI command. In VI is an editor we are considering. We wanted to go with some options on VI editor, which is so how to open a file and edit some content and save the file, right? So that's what we have seen. And cat command to see the content. And also we talked about grep command to, so filter basically some content from a file. And as well as we are going to go with the head command so see the top files, by the way, and you can also modify the number of lines that you wanted to see. The same applies to head and tail, and column-based filtering by using AWK. So these are what we have seen. And after that, we have seen curl command. Okay, so which with so to browse it and as well as to download. So we have seen small o, capital O. So small O means you have to give file name. Capital O means it can download the file, okay, without file name. I mean, that means like you no need to provide the file name, it can download. Also, we talked about one more option, -L, to redirect, by the way, to the new URL if it is coming. Okay, so that's what it is. And the next one we talked about is so the tar-xf for extracting and unzip command to unzip the files. And finally, we have seen a pipe symbol. Until here, we had discussed in yesterday's session, and we wanted to go with the administrative session. But when we go with the AWS account, or basically like when we wanted to go with the administrative, we wanted to go and get our own servers. And that's where so that's where we wanted to go with sorry, administrative section requires our own servers. So that's where we wanted to go with creating our own servers in AWS. And so that's where we wanted to start it. And also, like yesterday I was mentioning about, so Amazon offers different types of regions, by the way. Okay, so different regions, so there are reasons for that. We talked about the latency and the okay, so and also talked about the government regulations about the data policy, okay, Information Act. And so due to that, actually, so the AWS like companies, by the way, they has to host in the regional places, by the way. Okay, so going going next, by the way. So the next thing is we wanted to go and create a servers in Amazon, and we wanted to start using Amazon. And one of the region, like I mentioned, so we'll be using for our training is North Virginia. Okay, we are going to use North Virginia. That's what I mentioned, right? Now, yeah. So let's go with the creation of a server, and you have different services out there here. So for compute related one, and there is an EC2 service, and this is the service we're going to use for creating the servers. If you want server means this is the one. And however, you can also go with so adding to this to the favorites. If you can just click on this to favorite button, the service will come here on the top itself directly. To bother about navigating from here and all somewhere. Yeah, so it can easily help you here as well. So this is what generally I use. I click on this. I wanted to create a server. So how to create a server is 1 minute. Just wanted to see where is the document. Not there, right? Okay, let's go to the killer code only. So administrative. Yeah. So here is a URL that is showing how to create a server. So you can just go to the server. So it is going to tell you Okay, so how can we create a server, by the way? How to create as EC2 server? So there is you log in and you choose, EC2 service. Okay, it will be looking like everything 0000, and only this one will show as 1, by the way. So this is the default thing it will show. And within this region, you're going to have multiple data centers. Actually, there are 6 data centers which are available. And that means your server can create any one of the set data center. So this one, we call it as availability zones, and we'll talk about this bit later. Anyhow, we have we have a design perspective of how to choose, how to stabilize your application, or how to ensure our application is not down, kind of a thing. So during that time we'll talk about it, but for now, wherever it comes, let it come, doesn't really matter. Okay, so all we need to do is launch an instance, or you go to the instances on the left side and you click on launch instance. Okay, so once you go there, so click on launch instance. After launching an instance, so you have to search for DevOps-practice. Okay, after clicking on launch instance, so it's not here, it's actually here. So this is the customized AMI, so which I am offering from my side, so which will help you as a catalyst for your learning, by the way. Okay, so DevOps-practice and hit enter. So you have to, so search for DevOps practice and hit enter. And then you're going to get, community MIs here. Community MIs, the same thing has been mentioned in this as well. So choose community MI. Okay. And choose community MI. I think those screenshots are be told, by the way. And choose RHEL 9 practice. Okay. So this is the image that we are supposed to use it. Okay. Let me update that information as well. So choose this. All right. So it is coming. Okay, so that image will get updated. So it is fine. Just coming, it is loading. That's okay. I just updated this. But however, it is going to be RHEL 9. Okay. And so you'll be choosing that particular one. So we already discussed about that. So we're going to use RHEL, and the latest version is 9. And you choose that. Okay. And you don't need to choose anything, by the way. So you can just proceed further. And key pair, by the way, so there is a key pair option which the UI asks for it, so which there is no need of that. You can just choose that. And the next one is okay, so finally on the right side summary, you directly go with the launch instance. Okay, on the right side summary, you can directly go with launch instance. Let me cancel this and let me show you once again. You're going to choose a launch instance, and I'll go for DevOps-practice, enter, and it's going to give you 2 AMIs. So RHEL 9. So click on select. Okay. And then, so the next one is a key pair. This is just optional, so we don't need it. So proceed without a key pair and launch instance. That's it. And you're going to get an instance, by the way. So just give it a minute to come up, and you're going to connect to that particular instance. Okay, it is just in pending state, and so you will get the information to connect, by the way. Now, basically, once it is running, you can connect to that. Now, how to connect? I'll show you that. Okay, but for now, this is okay. So this is how you launch an instance. We need to give it a minute, by the way, and so that you can just, okay. You can connect to this particular server. Now connecting to the server, so there are two ways, by the way. So I mean, two ways in the sense like one way only, like two operating systems. If you are using a MacBook like me, okay, so then you have an inbuilt terminal, by the way. Okay, so you have a terminals like this. So an inbuilt software, so which is terminal. Okay, you can just open that terminal, and over here, so what do you need to do is, so the username to connect to that particular one is, if you go back to the killer coda, the username connect to the EC2 server. Okay, so if you are using macOS like me, so gen SSH EC2 user at the rate public IP. Now SSH EC2 hyphen user at the rate. Now the EC2 server is going to have a public IP. Now what is this public IP? What is the private IP? Is all upcoming topics later. So for now, you just copy the IP address blindly and you paste it over here. Okay, and it prompts for password. Okay, you need to type the password. So what is the password? The password is given here. The password for that user is, actually it is EC2 user only. So DevOps321, this is a standard password. If you are using that image, by the way, my image, the password is DevOps321. So DevOps321, and that's how you log into the machine. That's it. Okay, so now the same thing, let me show you simple as such, easy to user, this one, or let me just show you something like this. Even here itself, I can simulate in this box, SSH easy to user this one, and it will generally ask for that fingerprint, yes or no. You have to type yes, and it asks for the password, DevOps 321, capital D, capital O. It's a case sensitive. It's a password. Okay, so that is what you need to do. And this is how we are going to connect to, this is how we are going to connect to the, okay, so the Linux box from macOS, by the way. Now, whereas if you have a Windows box, I know many of you is having Windows box, right? So let me show you the Windows related thing, how to do it. Windows require a software, okay, to do this. Windows require a software, and let me just show this. Yeah, and the software, there are many softwares, by the way. So for a beginner, you can use one tool called as Putty. Okay, so you can use this tool, or else there is also Kitty. Putty or Kitty. So these are the two widely tools that are used across, so I mean, generally, like, many people who ever want to start with the basic software that to connect to the Linux box from Windows, then they'll prefer to have it either a Putty or Kitty, by the way. Putty is again just a winner there, no doubt in that. So you can go with the Putty. So it does not really good for Kitty as well. So a lot of people I know that, so they use Kitty as well, like alternate to the Putty for some other reasons, I don't know. So we'll just go with the Putty. Now you go with the Putty. So the website is putty.org. Okay. So go into that website. Now you can download the full Putty software, which comes with many different pieces. Either you can do that, or else you come, or basically you click on download Putty. And after that, so here is a one, is a big installer which comes with all the, so packed softwares inside that. Or else you can simply need a Putty, you can simply use this. Okay. Now, if you are using Intel or AMD processor, then it is x86. Okay. You should be using x86 of 64-bit if your processor is Intel or AMD. Okay. If you are using any other processor, okay, then ARM. For Intel and AMD, this is the one. You click on this putty.exe file and you'll be downloading one software. Maybe this software you can move it to some desktop so that you can keep it there. But for now, I'm just opening this software. Now here, I need to type the IP address. So, or you can copy the IP address and paste it here. So my IP address is on other machine. So let's say I'll just type it t.19.4.105. So let me increase the font so that you can see it. Change settings. and appearance, by the way, the font size, you can choose a little bit higher. Okay. Now what it is asking, login as which user? What is the username? EC2-user. Okay. What is the password? DevOps321. Capital D, DevOps321. Whenever you type the password, it will not really show you the password. Don't confuse. Okay. And enter. So, and then you're able to log into that system. That's it. Now, once you're logged in, it does not really matter whether you're using Windows or Mac OS, just the client that you're using. That's it. There is no difference at all. So this is how you do that. Okay. So for putty, you will be using in this approach. Okay. All right. So I will just try to. All right. So just give me a minute. I'll try to embed this particular image for our reference so that I can use this. Okay. To embed an image. Just give me a minute. So these are just small changes. I wanted to do it from some time. These changes came in because we are moving to recently to this RHL9. The last batch only I moved to RHL9. Otherwise, earlier I used to teach 8 version. So yeah. Okay, cool. So let me just go back and share my screen. So the share of Windows. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen back. Cool. So I just trying to get that putty screenshot on this one. Go back to the here. Click on the administration. Okay, it's not coming. So something else is wrong. I'll fix it later. So that's okay. And just thinking. Okay, there was something wrong, it seems. Please don't mind. I just need to do this. Files, images. This may take some times also. I mean, sometimes take a little bit more time as well. Let it be for now. Ignore this. That's okay. I'll just wanted to, keep the putty screenshot here for you to reference, by the way. That's it. Nothing more than that. But anyhow, I have shown the process. So how to connect to that, right? So this is how you do that. Now, once again, just to show you the full process, by the way, I will just go back to so I don't want this machine. I will terminate this machine. So right click terminate on that particular machine will terminate the machine. Right click, terminate the machine, terminate, so that you will lose this particular machine. Now I'm going to launch another new machine. Now how I'm going to launch here is so this launch instance. Okay. So first thing what you have to do is DevOps hyphen practice, enter. Then you'll get a community MI. Choose that. Okay. And choose RHL 9. So select that. Okay. And key pair. Just proceed without a key pair. Launch instance. View instance. Now you're going to get an instance in a running state in a minute, by the way. So you just need to wait for that to come to running state. And then you click on that instance. So maybe it is looking like this. But if you click on this instance, down there is an instance information. Maybe you click here. It will come up and it will show you the information. You want a public server IP address. Okay. So I will copy this particular one. If I'm using a Linux box, by the way, or sorry, Mac OS box, then something like this terminal will be there. SSH ec2-user at the rate, the IP address. Okay, enter, and it will connect. So it will take a minute. So the server is not up. So that's where it's not responding. Okay. Okay. Yes. And it is going to give the password. The password is DevOps321, capital D, capital O, DevOps321, and then you get the prompt. Okay, and also it is mentioned clearly the disclaimer, this image is designed only for the lab purpose of learning DevOps, by the way, and not at all recommend to use it in your production of your company environments. Don't do that. It's only for the purpose to, so to help you, okay, doing certain things, and as well as it help us actually to do the things like, us in the sense like you have a problem and you highlight a problem that I'm having this particular problem, and we can easily get into your machine and so solve the problem, by the way, for you, understand the problem, and so help you in doing the learning faster. This is image design is for that. In the companies it is going to be the same thing only, but instead of this image, okay, when you launch an instance, Amazon portal will not change. Amazon portal is going to be same, and you are going to search the image which belong to you, by the way. Okay, so there are images which belongs to you as well. So that when you click on browse AMIs here, so you'll have your own AMIs. This also will talk about how to create our own AMI and all. We'll talk about it. So your company will have your own AMIs. You will be choosing from them. And once you choose, okay, and then you log into the server. How do you log into the servers, by the way? You log in to the organization with your username and password. Now here there is one common username, ec2-user. But in the organization, when you join the organization, you get one email, by the way. And that email will have one username also. With that username and password, you will log in. Simple. Login process is still same. You open the putty software, enter the IP address, username password is company username password. You have to enter. That's it. You log into the machine. So here that EC2 user is you, password is that password, like your password kind of a thing. Just try to map it. That's it. We're not actually deviating any company process here. Okay. It's going to be your AMI of the company. And once you are trying to log in, it is going to be your username and password. Okay. So this is how you are going to log in. And if you are using Windows machine, like once again, let's go with the Windows. This session is disconnected. Let me go with a new session. And the IP address is the public IP address you need to type. So maybe I'll go for Font also higher now. And directly the session IP is, or sorry, server IP is 3.90.220.157. Click on open. So it will ask for yes or no. Even in the command line also, there also it is asking yes or no. There you're typing yes. Here you're going to type like accept. That's it. Or click on accept. There's a username EC2-user. In company, EC2 user is nothing but your company username. Let's say my name is Raghu. I'll be having, so like, let's say Raghu dot my first name dot last name, something will be there. Okay. And DevOps 321. Spelling mistake went. That's it. I'm able to log into the system. So once I'm into the log into the system, now what are the commands, it is still same, right? ls command. Okay. So then vi test file, some file, that's okay. Okay. So the same thing is all same. Escape, colon, WQ. You're in Linux box, it does not really matter. Sorry. This keyboard is okay. Like this, you'll be having the content. Everything is remaining same. That's it. Okay. So this is how you're going to connect from your desktop once after. Okay. So once after you create a server, that's it. Once after you connected, any operating system does not matter. It's just the same Linux box. All right. So that's about creating a server and connecting. Any questions on this? I see a couple of charts actually came in between. So you got a message saying that you can't launch a server. It says account is blocked. By the way, you talk to support. Amazon support is there. You log in. On the top, you will find out support saying that so ask a ticket, raise a ticket to them saying that you can't able to create the resources. Just explain them you started learning AWS, and you just mentioned that saying okay, so I wanted to use this account. So it's basically account and billing only. So tell that your account is having some category, by the way, so some whatever the relevant thing, type a thing, and you talk to them. We can't help you on that particular part. So whatever it is. All right. Any questions? See some hand. Not able to hear you, Pooja.
Hi, Raghu.
Yeah.
Raghu, Ankit this side. Just want to know, as you showed that how we connecting this IP, right, through that Ubuntu or that Mac in the window. But as I know, there is some, after launching the instance and putting this all detail, there is a connect option is there, right? I have heard it about. So why we are not going to with this option?
That is also one of the option. But the image which I am giving, this DevOps practice image, is not integrated with this. Okay.
Okay.
It works only with Amazon Linux. Now, when you actually launch an instance, so it supports only two options, which is Amazon Linux only. Okay. And as well as Ubuntu. If you are using Red Hat, it doesn't support.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
We directly connected to AWS, right?
Mm-hmm.
To Linux machine.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Yes.
We directly connected to AWS.
Okay. What is the question?
Not using Putty.
I used.
Hello. We directly connected to Linux machine through AWS.
No, I did not connect it to any AWS directly. I used Putty only. I demonstrated with putty only.
Okay. So I am not connected to AWS.
No, I'm really sorry, I did not got your question.
When I launched instance,
Mhm.
so we directly connect
You're doing the
to.
instance creation right now.
Yes, sir.
Why are you doing that? I told you not do anything while the session is going on. You have to focus.
Sir,
Yeah.
we directly connected to connect here. Connect option is right.
I did not connected Pooja. While I'm doing the things, you're doing your own things, by the way. You're not able to sync with me, right? I
Okay.
did not did that. Okay. So that's why I'm telling, don't do the things while the session goes on. Just watch the session. What am I doing? Okay.
Okay.
And again, for your question, I did not connected to anything with Amazon. I used putty only. I demonstrated with putty only.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, hello, Raghu. Yeah, I see in your screen you have terminated one of the state, and then one of them is running. Do we do this terminated also practice, or just leave it running shutdown?
We'll terminate because if you are running, by the way, it is going to be billing for you.
Right. Okay. Thank you. And then every time we need it, we can bring it back. Thank you.
Hey, Raghu, my question is what type of OS it is? I mean, what type of Red Hat it is designed for the DevOps only, or means who designed it?
No, there is no such thing like Red Hat is Red Hat. That's it.
Okay. I mean,
Our
there is a naming
usage purpose may
convention.
be, sorry,
Sorry?
our usage purpose may be different, right? But as a product, as a OS, by the way, it is Red Hat only.
Okay. I'm just confused because it's naming convention with the DevOps. So,
Yeah, yeah. I just named it. In my
oh,
own purpose, I just named it. That's it.
oh, you named it.
Your
Okay.
name is Parveen. My name is Raghu. We are humans only. If you talk about
Yeah, that's right.
naming for our purpose, right? So it's something like that. Okay, just the tag. That's it. OS is still same.
Okay. You can name your OS and you can upload on the AWS, right?
It's a name. That's it. It's not naming OS also. OS is still same. On top of that, like let's say, let's say I have two boxes, by the way. In one box I kept two boxes I kept same thing. Let's say I want to give gift to 10 people. Gift is still same. But I'm writing a name saying that this is two to this person, this is two to this person, right? It's like that. Just label.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi,
Yes.
Raghu.
Yeah.
So, actually, while connecting to Pooty, you have given the public IP of that instance, right? AWS instance.
Right.
So, if I'm having multiple EC2 machines, then do I need to open multiple windows for that, or in one window also we can work by changing the IP?
It is multiple windows.
Multiple windows.
Yeah.
Thank you.
uh, when you go to instance, right, AWS instance, I can able to see two IP address. One is public IP and one is private IP. So why one machine have two IP address? Any purpose for that?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay.
We have a sessions. At least 2 to 3 sessions will come only for networking. So then you'll understand that. But for now, live with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Ravi. While connecting the putty, I have seen 22 as a port number. So it's just like a default. We need not to bother about that.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what happening in browsers also all the time, right? So you're using google.com, but actually the port number of google.com is either 80 or 443. You're using HTTP port, right? So HTTP port number is, I mean, like let's say default port number, I would say. You're not giving any kind of a port number on the browser. Browser is automatically taking 80 port. Or if you're using HTTPS, it will take automatically 443. The same way PuTTY also, by default, it is 22 port. No one will change that. Generally, in some organization, they'll change that also. But in that case, you have to give the changed port. But otherwise, it is going to be the default port.
Okay. And if it is a MacBook terminal, I need not worry at all then.
No, anywhere you don't need to give, since we are using the default port, you don't need to bother about any of this.
Okay.
Okay. But if it is any other port, then either it is on the PuTTY or even on the Mac command line, you have to exclusively give the port number. Yeah, but don't worry about that again. Again, there's a port, again, networking concept, this port and all will come into picture. But just now accept it, whatever it is there, by the way. You will gain the you will gain the context slowly.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, hi Raghu.
Yeah.
If I delete the instance, I mean, if I terminate the instance, it's not problem for me.
What is the problem?
I mean, in an organization, if I terminate the any server instance, it will be problem, right?
Yeah. You're not there yet, actually. You're talking about grammar, yeah, but you're in ABCD. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Right. So there's something you have to do, right? In between, there are many things, by the way. Now you're talking about directly landing on moon. No science or no physics in between. Right. So don't worry about that.
Okay.
And for now, we can terminate it. That's fine. That's okay.
Yeah. Raghu, good morning.
Yeah.
Actually, we are terminating, right? So instead of that, if we stop, the billing still continues, or we need to terminate?
Yeah. If you are running, it is billing. If you
Okay.
stop it, also there is some billing. But if you terminate it, there won't be any billing.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Raghu, we took the EC2 instance, right? So like that, we have some other instances also there, right? So how can I know that whether my application suits this type of instance only? Either EC2 or some other, which one is suits to my requirement, basically?
Again, there's a concept called as right sizing. Okay, we'll talk about that again. We'll do the benchmarking, by the way. Exercise will be there.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. All right, I don't see any more hands. So moving on. Now, since the machine is there, probably we can just start learning the things from here only directly. Okay. So now going to the first thing, which is the process management. So these are this is just general categorization only. Okay, there is no such thing called as, okay, from OS perspective, everything is same only. Okay. Like I meant to say, we are actually categorizing, saying this is administrative topic, this is basics topics and all. But for OS, I'm just thinking, so it is a quite same thing only for them, by the way, right? So for OS, it does not really matter. Okay. So OS really does not matter means if you are actually executing what operation, if you have permission, you'll do that. If you don't have permission, you'll not do that, right? For OS really does not know that things that, basically like who are you and kind of a thing, right? So, that's the point I'm telling about. So in that general categorization, okay, so I just categorize some commands as Linux basics, and now these commands as Linux administration. Okay, so because the administration activity will be usually done by administrator, by the way. Okay, so that means this is an operating system. Now, let's say you're a company, you're using a company laptop. Okay, now you'll not have all the permissions to deal with your company laptop, but there is some person in the organization, okay, who have admin rights, can do something on your machine. He is an administrator, but you're a general user, maybe, like, so you'll have limited permissions, right? So in that categorization, maybe considering that general category, we consider that as, the commands, whatever we have learned so far, can be executed by any user. Now the commands from now on will be executed by the persons, okay, so who will have some extra privileges, or who need to do some extra work, like us, by the way. So we are actually doing a Linux manage, or so we are actually trying to do go back to the actual basic thing where we started. So we wanted to maintain the infrastructure and apps that are running on the on the infrastructure. So that means, which is a server. So that means I need to run something on this particular machine. So which means, like, I need to stop something, start something, so create something, blah blah blah. Maybe there may be 10 things or 100 things I need to do something. Okay, it's not like a general user, I go in and do these things. I mean, maybe, like, you look like a server, you're going to manage that server to do something for you. Okay, so that's where you're almost acting as an administrator. And in most of the organizations, for your servers, being a DevOps engineer, you still get the administration access to your machines, by the way. Generally, to the servers, you generally will have administrator access. Okay, so that's where let's try to understand these particular commands in that particular context. Let me just okay. Now the first command, which in that particular categorization we're going to talk about, is the process management in Red Hat family. Okay, every command you're going to execute, okay, is going to create one process in the system that is called as process ID. Windows also, you open a Chrome, by the way, you have a task manager. You will see that there is someone open chrome.exe file in the task manager, right? Same thing here also. Okay, so you run a command, by the way, so that is nothing but you're executing something on the system, and that creates one process in the system that is called as a PID, process ID. A short word we use it. It's a PID, process ID. And how to get this process ID? Maybe PS command. PS is a command, but the PS will show you the PID which belongs to my terminal. I logged into it, my terminal. But Linux is a multi-user, multi-session operating system. That means I can open another session to the same system. Okay, I can open another session. This is just my MacBook supports, multi-tabs in the same window. That's fine. But these are two different Windows connections. I made it to the same server. Maybe in your case, you need to open two different putties, by the way. That's it. You can open multiple sessions to the same server. Okay, so that means, like, this PS command is actually showing you the process belongs to this particular session. And here in this session, PS command shows the process belongs to this session. So 1497, 1421, both are different. So this guy is showing his only, this guy is showing his only, but I wanted to know everything belongs to the user which we logged in, which is PS EC2-user. Now PS
approach that some teams and a lot of teams will do is that they will.
Okay, one second, somewhere.
Say here.
Hey, sorry, some play button got pressed. All right, so now this PS command is showing the local sessions, but whereas PS-U, if you give, it is going to show you the process which belongs to this user, all the process. So that's where you will see 1309. There is maybe my putty open, right? So that is 1309. And this is a 1421, this session, and this is 1497. And of course, there is I executed a PS command. That process also it will show you, okay, which is fine. That got created and got done also, okay. But these processes are still running out there, so that's okay. But these are the processes which you are getting. But however, I don't want my process only. I want everything in the system. So PS-E can help you. So now it will show you every process in the system. Okay. So where the length is going to be a bit more, and maybe you can help you. You can start searching in by using grep command as well. For an example, now this process name is bash. Okay, you can search for bash. You get the process names. Okay, based on the process name you're searching, and you're getting the process IDs. Now a little bit, if you want a bit more information, so then there is a extra fields you can ask it by using F option. PS command, if you give a -F option, it's going to show you more columns with more detailed information. Now PS-EF, search for bash, by the way, it is showing a bit more information. Now what is that more information, by the way? So who is the user it is running, which user belong to that process, and what is the process ID, and this process has been created by some other process, which is 1301. Now that's where if you take the whole operating system process, by the way, any process will end up with two parents. There is parents, by the way. Who was the parent pair in the operating system is process number 1, process number 2. Okay, so it's just like your family tree. Just like a family tree, you have parents, by the way, mother and father. The same way, like so here also you are going to get two parent. For any process, they have to end up with one of this guy only. It's like not the pair of parents, but this is the pair of process which will start by the operating system. Now every process should belong to one of this guy only. Those are okay. So those are son or grandson or grandson of the main process. As simple as that. Okay, now if you take it, this 1562 belong to 1421, and 1421 okay belong to 1420, 1420 belong to 14117, and 1417 belongs to 1242, and if I go to 1242, it ended up with number 1. So either the process ends with 1, you take the relation, okay, or it ends with 2, by the way. The process which are ending with 2 is strictly the OS process. You can't manipulate them. That means this process and all, you can't touch, you don't manage. So only the process which is ending with 1, okay, so are ending in the sense like the final parent is 1, you will be able to manage those particular process only in the operating system. Even in Windows Task Manager also, you ask to show all the process. You try to end some process which are there, by the way, it will tell you can't manage them. Okay, right click end process, like maybe something like some OS process, you'll see some win and all, you'll see many process. You try to terminate them, you can't terminate them. Okay, so here is also the same thing. Okay, so that's where, so if you want to list down the process, the PS command, and also now what is that PS-EF is actually showing is some extra information, who is the parent of this guy. That information also really useful. Now what is the next thing? So after the parent, so what is the next thing is you have is a C, by the way. Okay, so C is nothing but your prior CPSC. I'm thinking it is a priority only. So I also forget when. So PS command, that's okay to know it, but that's fine if you don't know it also, but still, since the point came in, let's try to read it out and understand. So PS command, PS-E-F fields. Okay, as long as we're able to read it, we can find the information. Information is enough there in the market. Okay, so F is actually, C stands for the process utilization for scheduling. This is not displayed when you use -C option. Then nice what it will show. Okay, then it is NI, by the way. Okay. Oh, C means the process utilization for scheduling. Okay, understood. Okay, there are different types of scheduling process are there. So some process are running on your screen. Okay, for an example, I will just go for sleep something. Now PS-EF grep for something like sleep something, but it is also not showing actually here. Scheduling class. So this is a new operating system. Okay, RHL 9. So there can be changes from the RHL 9 as well. I am not sure. I am completely forget about it also. There's a high chance for that as well. Okay, I don't know. So that's where let's try to read it out, by the way. So what is that? Or maybe like so PS-EF explained. RHEL7. Oh, wait, not 7.9. My bad. This much big document. I don't have time. Oh, wait. So PS-EF fields explained. I think it's, I don't feel that, so it doesn't really matter that with an operating system, they would have changed it, by the way. I feel I only missed it. So PS-EF is actually telling C is there all the time. At least this document is there it's the latest one only. It's okay. Now, what is C? At least someone explained about it. Okay. So let's closer understand UID, PID, C. The CPU utilization in percentage. Okay. CPU utilization in percentage. All right. Then remaining fields I'm quite aware. So I'm still not convinced. Okay. I'll just try to do one small thing as well. But don't worry about what I'm doing. But just let me do something. It has written that, it is a CPU utilization in percentage. Let me try to put some utilization and let me find it out whether I'm able to see the utilization. Then that should be fine. I'm quite sure earlier the C may not be the one which used to come. I also need cross-checking. It's okay. Right. Okay, then percentage number is coming. Okay, I'm convinced. Okay, so fine. So some number is coming. Okay, it is showing you that's a percentage. By the way. It's anyhow. So what this guy is telling is it's a CPU utilization. All right, I think I am just confused with PS-EF, and there is another option which is called as PS-U-F also is there. So I'm just confused with this option. This option actually, I was thinking this one. I'm just trying to relate what is the gap that I had. Okay, so I was just thinking in this perspective. So there is something. Okay, so don't worry about that. So now PS is a command. So then PS-EF is what one of the generally used option is the which user is running this process, what is the process ID, and as well as okay, what is his parent, by the way, and how much CPU it is consuming in percentage, and what at what time it started this process, at what time it started, it belongs to which session. Okay, every session will have a PS-EF grep for bash. Okay, every session will have an identity. Now I open 3 sessions to this, one on my Windows, 2 over here. Now there are total 3 sessions, and there's an identification. This is PTS0, PTS2, PTS1. Okay, so there's an operating system thing, by the way. Okay, so I mean, each session you get it some unique number, you get it, by the way, in the background to understand. And this is, how much compute time it actually taking. Okay, so how much compute time actually it is taking, by the way, it is actually going to give you this one. And finally, the process name. So this is all the different fields, by the way. I think this much detail also is too much overwhelming for you. Just simply like, so if you want to get the information of PSE process, by the way, you're searching for some process, whether it is running, not running. For an example, is your job is all about a web application, right? Whether it is running there or not. So someone reported whoever is using XYZ is not working. What do you do? The first thing you do is log into the server and check whether the process is running or not. Okay. So you're going to check the process is running or not by using, let's say, for an example, PS-EF. Now, let's say the website name is some web. Just as an example, you search for that. Whether it is running, it is running. Okay, then next further steps you will do. So for that information, at least you should know about whether the process is running or not. And that is where PS command will come into picture. This is only the section which is related to finding the information. Whereas there is a section related to, okay, so stopping the process, by the way, or in fact, actually we call it as ending the process. Even in Windows also, you want to close the Chrome, by the way, from Task Manager. right click on the Chrome and end process. You will do that, right? So that means you are literally, killing that particular process. So that's where here also, we'll do that one, by the way. So we are going to, kill certain processes. Okay. And how can I kill it is, so for an example, here I'm going to run for a simulation purpose. I'm going to take a help of sleep command. Sleep command will does nothing. Okay. So how much time you give, it will just wait for that time and give you the prompt again. So that means the process is running for 100 seconds now. Now ps-ef, okay, pipe grep for sleep. So now you got the sleep and its process, by the way. Now, if I don't want this particular sleep process to be running, so then what you're going to do is you're going to give the kill and the process. So kill and the process number. Enter. So then, okay. So now down you can see this, you got a terminated message. That means someone terminated you. Okay. So that is what is understood. And in some extreme cases, by the way, so where you will have a scenario of, in some extreme scenarios where you will be having a scenario of where you can't kill a process. No, bash. Just a simulation, by the way, don't worry about this. I'm just trying to do something. What I am doing is, don't worry about this in order to practice this part also. We're just trying to simulate some scenario. Now ps-ef, pipe grep for sleep. Okay, then you got some sleep 350, you got the process. Now I'm going to give kill of this one. It's done. Now that means that process is gone. But is it gone? No, it's not gone. So that's where if I kill how many times, it's not going to kill. Now, what is the reason for that? Maybe there may be a couple of reasons. So that guy is, you asked to come out, but however, that guy is super busy in, so doing something, he can't come out. Okay, for an example, a database process is running. You asked to come in, you asked that particular process politely saying that, hey, can you please stop? Yes, he accepted it. And however, in order, before exiting, by the way, okay, before exiting, by the way, he has to do 10 different things, right? He's a database, by the way, has to do all the commits and all, no data loss, no transaction loss, has to do all the things, and then only he'll come out. He will take time. Okay. So that's where you have to wait for certain process when you're killing. Alternatively, what is, can something happens is the process is completely frozen. Okay. So that process is not even, thinking, not even listening to you. You're asking, but that guy is completely hung or something like that. So that process also, that is also another scenario. A third scenario is he's understanding you, you're asking him politely, but he is denying that particular politeness. He needs some hardness. So in either of the case, by the way, in the other two cases, whether it is hung or whether it is not listen, whether he's not getting killed, and that it should not actually take that much time, then you can go for a forceful kill here. And that is option which is by usually, like, which is an extreme option. Don't try to use this at all. But as a so learning purpose, we're talking about it, but don't even consider about using this. So now if you just go and give ps-ef sleep, now that is gone. And even, of course, you got the information here itself, it got killed. So that's where, so ps is a command to find the information, kill is the command to kill the process. So these two commands, we generally use it, by the way. For an example, if someone is reporting my website is not working, you come here, if the process is not running, you'll do something to start the process. However, it is running, but still it is not working. Maybe he's a hung or something like that. So then you have to kill that guy. Okay. So just all assumptions only, but the commands are ps and kill for this particular purpose. Okay. Does it make sense? Any questions on this? Any questions, confusions? Okay, cool. So then one hand, I see.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to understand that during the administration process, we are running these processes, right? So if somebody complains that a process is getting killed or something, are these getting logged somewhere? Or like,
In operating system, everything get logs.
okay,
Okay. So now I did some activity, right? So that means, so somewhere in the system, it got logged. I can show you since you asked about it. So servers means every activity will get tracked, by the way. And yeah, so there's a secure file. You just cat the secure file. So the secure file is telling that, you know, so I have executed where I have executed the kill command.
yeah, I can see.
No, actually there is another kill command, right? So there's a kill script actually. This should be a kill command also. Maybe if it is not coming here, so then it is going to be under history. I mean, that process may not be considered as to be tracked, by the way. So you are killing your own process kind of a
Okay.
thing. Yeah, so it is built still there somewhere, by the way. Is actually usually gets logs also. Okay, but at least if you see that, you know, you can see that, you know, while you're downloading something, it is showing you're downloading something. All the PS commands, whatever you're running, is also there.
Right. And
Yeah.
as a DevOps engineer, so we will have the root, right? And then for users, we will create like a new user and give them, right?
Generally, you'll not have, you know, why you need a user to log in here, right? You just run the application. Only the engineering team having access should be fine. You don't really require every employee to log into that server. No point.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
All right. So the next one is, let's try to, you know, do some scenario, by the way. So ps-ef. I will try to do something. This process belongs to a root user 1417. Okay. Or maybe let's take another process 1494. Okay. So now if I try to kill a process of this one, what you're getting? Operation not permitted. Now, so far previously you created your own process, you're trying to kill your own process, the things are working fine. But now you are actually trying to kill a process which is run by, maybe let's say an application is running here, an application user will run that. Every process is associated to user. Let's say you're killing some other user process now. Of course, you need to do that. I'm not denying that, you know, you shouldn't do that. Your job is to do that. While doing that, actually, it does not belong to you. Okay. So then what is the message you're getting? Operation not permitted. Okay. It is clearly telling, hey boss, it's not yours, or you can't do this. Now, in this particular case, what do you do and how do you handle? And this is a very common scenario, by the way. In companies, even though we log in, we know the root password. Now, what to do, by the way, there's an administrator. Who is the administrator? A root user. We already talked about that. Now, you log in as a root user, he can do anything, by the way. He's an administrator, you do everything. But knowing root username password, I will not log into the server with root username password. I may know or may not know. In modern world today, like no one knows the passwords also, generally. Okay, no need of the root password as well, really. But still, even though I know the root password, I'll not do that. Okay, or even the cases like, you know, even the root logins and all also will be disabled as a security practice and all. These all things will be there. So that's where we might log in with a, we might not log in with a root user directly. Then who will manage this? An administrator is needed. If you log in as a root, he will take care. But you're not logging as a root, then who will take care? Okay, so that is where usually that root login will be used only during the maintenance and all, but we always log in as a normal user, but the perform, we need to work as a root user, like administrator only we need to perform. In order to bridge that gap, you need to log into the system as your username password only. Root username, you can't use it. But however, once you log in with your username, you have to act, you have to behave as an administrator, or in order to act or behave, by the way, you need to have that authority. Okay. Now, who provides that authority in the system is there are different vendors for that. So there is a sudo, there is a power broker, there's a centrify. Okay, blah blah blah. In the sudo itself is going to give you who are the other alternate vendors as sudo. This is a sudo web page. Okay, out of many tools, by the way, you go to you go to any serious organizations, you'll find out power broker, centrify, like so big corporate corporate companies and all. You might find these particular things, or whether it is a modern, by the way, modern. I mean, get get teleport, something like that is there. So get teleport is also there, or go teleport, sorry, go teleport. So this kind of a utilities. So this is one of the modern cloud native kind of a thing what they're claiming. Even I was just going through it. I did not tried it, by the way. So but still I did not worked with this tool anywhere in the organization. But I've been seeing, so some proposal going on this tool. This tool is very good and things like that. It's a bit modern, by the way. Okay, so which works in a modern or modern way, because the tools which we talked about is all very, so very old tools. Okay, maybe rather than helping, by the way, these tools becomes even a pain at certain times. Okay, so that's also will happen. Now, whatever the reason it is, we are going to and whatever the reasons it is, you are going to need something that you require. You're going to need something to give you a elevated access or privileged access, by the way, and that's where these particular tools will come into picture. Tools like sudo or power broker or go teleport, like I was mentioning. So these guys will come into picture and provide the access. Okay, so they will bridge the gap. Now, usually when you join the organization, so what you're going to have is you're going to you already gain the access to the system. You already gain the access to the system with your username and password. And those systems are also integrated with your central email thing I'm talking about, right? When you join an organization, you get an email, username and password. The same username and password, ideally, you should be logging to the server. And for your user, again, you will be having some groups associated to you. You belong to a DevOps group, or you belong to which business vertical. Okay, so blah 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 and all, and you'll be allocated some privileges also, in the centralized place where the systems will use that information. Now, if you are allowed, it will be allowed to do that particular job. If you are not allowed, you're not allowed to do that particular job. So that is where, so now if I want to kill this particular process, now I need to use that special privilege. And if I have that privilege, I'll be able to do that. And if you don't have that privilege, you'll not be able to do that. So at least in this system, this EC2 user is having that privilege. And that's where, if I give sudo kill 1494, that process is got killed. And ps-ef 1494 is there? No, gone. It did not got the error, right? Of course. So it's gone. So that is where you can kill the process, or basically like kill the process is always kill command, but some operations you are not permitted to do, and that's where you're taking a privilege escalation tool here, which is sudo. By default is there in the most of the systems. Sudo is widely used. And however, in some organizations, it's going to be power broker or centrify as well. So, but however, these privileges will be added in central only. So it's not local, by the way. If you really want to interest, how this happens and all, there is a video. Let me put that video in the information. So adding privileges, adding human users, all part of single sign-on in the organization, SSO, single sign-on. So a demo, this video will help in understanding on how to do it, how it actually happens. Okay, let me give that video. I have it where, just give me a minute. Just let me grab that information. I have it somewhere. I need to consolidate the information somehow. I got it. No, not that. Process Linux servers and app. Oh, this is here. Okay. So it is actually there in the portal. This portal you will get the access soon, and then you will be able to do it. You will watch it actually. I'll provide. Maybe I'll keep it in YouTube. You can use that. So it is there in one of the portals, so where you get access later, like, so by end of this week or sometime, you'll start getting the access. So Linux servers and app servers with Active Directory. Okay. So how it works and all. So there is a topic, in the platform. You will come to know about this. Okay. So I'll explain that. But yeah, so then this point this video will help you in understand this one. But anyhow, there is, I'll do something about it. Okay, for now that's up to and yeah, so this is how it happens in the organization. Okay, you are going to get some centralized place only. You'll be doing the things. Okay, so for easy management, because tomorrow you left the organization, in one place they'll remove your account or inactive your account. Every place it will start doing it, lock everywhere. No one really need to bother about anything. Okay, so that is how the different things will happen in the organization. And however, if you want to perform any administrative activity in the system, so then we are going to take the help of a command like sudo. Okay, so that's what it is. All right, so mostly I think that would be all. So this package management and all will be starting from tomorrow. Okay, that's all from my side for today. Any questions, please go ahead. And since I'm done with the system, by the way, so I'm done with my work, I'll go and terminate the machine. But anyhow, after a few minutes after questions, I'll try to terminate. All right. Any questions, please go ahead. Not able to hear you.
Hey, Raghu,
Yeah.
this is Karun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does this UI shows which instance is running on which OS?
Yeah, of course. Here, if you go to the AMI, by the way, it will tell you which AMI you used and all. And if you go to the AMI information, which is the link which is there, and here it will tell you, okay, so you need to write some description as well, but generally like platform details, it is showing already. Red Hat.
Oh, yeah, my name. Okay.
And actually, someone asked a question on the chat saying I overlooked it. Now I'm saying it. What is an AMI? Okay, is a question which is being asked. AMI is nothing but again, like it's a Amazon language. Okay, it's like a OS. What they're offering is packed by the way. Like let's say you used to have a CD DVDs to install an operating system. On top of CD DVD, we used to write this what operating system and all, right? So from that perspective, by the way, so this is all, so just the name convention that Amazon is offering, tagging a particular OS. This is all digital world. And that's why they're calling it as Amazon machine image. It's an image, by the way. Okay. So it is something like a image. That means like a ISO file or CD DVD. So to install your operating system. Okay. It is much faster here. Like it's all different layers. We'll talk about that maybe a bit later when we talk about AMI and all. But yeah, so how to create AMI and all. But however, at this to start the point, so AMI means an operating system, option within Amazon is called as AMI. It's their own language.
Hi, Ravi.
Yeah.
If we have an existing AWS account and we are able to launch this EC2 instance with the Red Hat Linux 9, still can we practice those commands and other stuff for practice purpose?
On where?
On the this is a lab oriented, right? I think you have given the steps. We need to follow that and then create the AWS account. Then we'll be able to launch the EC2 instances, and that will be somewhat related to the killer Coda. But I'm asking, if we already have our own AWS account, we have created previously, and if you're able to launch the EC2 instances for RHEL9, so still we'll be able to practice the command and other stuff by launching it to the terminal, practicing it.
Yeah. And it is same, right? What is the difference, by the way? You're saying like, rather than creating an account, I already have an account, I'll use that account. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, probably I'm just asking because it looks like that killer Coda, you have some pre-configurations or certain
No.
files created, something
We
like
are
that.
sorry. Don't confuse. Killer Coda, somewhere I had to keep the document. I'm not executing anything in Killer Coda now, right? It's all on my own
Yeah.
book. Okay.
Okay.
It's only for documentation purpose. Somewhere rather than a PDF I thought, like anyhow, we are actually using for a couple of days for starting. We're just using this there. That's it. There's nothing there, but don't worry. There's nothing relation of Killer Coda. Killer Coda is a place where we are keeping the documents.
For example, like that user ID and password, right, for this to connect there you have used. Is it like the same
Username, password, sorry.
for terminal or putty? So you are trying to connect to that particular server, right? RHEL9 server. Then you are using certain credentials there. So those credentials, does it come from the your EC2 instance itself, or?
Yeah, of course. In the organization, someone will make those AMIs, right? For a
Right.
company purpose. And you will get
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Any other questions?
And Raghu, who will take care on this OS patching on these instances?
You can.
Does Amazon take care or?
No, you can. Like it all depends, by the way. If it is a Red Hat, by the way, like again, like Amazon, you'll be having Amazon support and you'll be having the patches coming in and all from Amazon itself. So because you're going to they charge for the operating system cost as well. So that's how you get it. And mostly if you're in Amazon, so still you'll use a Red Hat family OS, which is an Amazon Linux generally. It's completely managed by Amazon. So you'll get from Amazon only.
Okay.
Yeah, but they won't do the patching. They will give the patch. You have to apply.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, hi Raghu. So while creating the instance, we are choosing DevOps practice, right? So
Mhm.
that one is the image created by you, like
Right.
so for our use, right?
Correct.
So it's not actually what Amazon is providing, rather we are using the image what we have created, right?
I mean, Amazon owns certain things, by the way, but still, like you join an organization, you don't use direct Amazon image what they offer.
That's great.
You
Yeah.
take it and you convert. I mean, you can't. I mean, what do we say? You actually
We upgrade it
that-
actually.
Yeah, you convert that as per your business needs, and then you'll start using it.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Hello, may I
Yeah.
audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, sir. This is Rama Devi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I have a question for my career about this course.
Mm-hmm.
May I ask now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did MCA passed out 2020 batch, and later after 1 year, I have an experience in. I worked on the in Dell as in a contract basis, so as a Java developer.
Mm-hmm.
But at that time, I'm not able to learn at that moment because of I just have a low guidance at the. I'm not taking any course with the Java. It's just either a referral job like that. Uh, so later it's a contract basis because of I just moved out that company, and still now I didn't work any, but I taken the course of SCCM, and I have a career gap of 1.5 years from 2022 to till now. So can I start DevOps? It's a best platform to my career for the next career growth.
That is your choice, I think. You should be thinking about whether this suits your career.
Because of I'm weak in the coding actually. So can I fill this 1.5 career gap, or I just keep it the 1 year of experience? Can I learn DevOps?
It's very hard to difficult the simple answer, by the way. So which you're asking. So it is your career. It is your responsibility to choose which is right or which is wrong for you. Okay.
No. I'm asking, can I fill this 1.5 year gap, or I put on the 1 year of experience. Later, I started my job with the DevOps. Can I do that, or I'm not able to do?
That's what again.
It is possible or not? I'm asking you. With the 1 year of experience of DevOps.
You're not listening to my words. You're jumping.
Yeah.
You're looking for your own answer only, but rather
Yeah.
listening to the real answer. Okay.
Yeah.
You're expecting yes or no, which is very difficult to tell yes or no, by the way. Okay. It is your career. You have to think about whether it suits you or not. If it is if you are thinking it is suits you, okay, then there are 100 things needed. You have to do 100 things, whether it's a coding is hard, whatever it is, you have to do that, no other option. Now coming to the 1 year of experience, there are people who filled with 10 years also. Okay, that means that works for them doesn't mean that work for you, or it works for you doesn't mean it work for everyone in the world. Okay, it is all about you. Okay, so consciously you think about yourself that yes, okay, whether this course is suitable for me or not. Okay, and the next thing is whether whatever your needs, by the way, you're learning the right thing or not. You cross check and you make everything for sure, and you come to me. I'll help you with the knowledge and technology.
Okay. There is no problem with the 1.5 years gap, is there now? There is any problem with
May or may not be. See, that's what I'm telling. For someone, it is not a problem. I can't tell you. For you, also, it is not a problem.
Okay.
It's very difficult answer to tell, actually. Okay.
Okay.
The most difficult question you asked, by the way, about yourself asking to me, by the way.
Yeah.
Whether I can raise a hand or not, you're asking me, by the way. If you raise your hand, you will understand whether you can raise your hand or not. It's your capability. It's not mine. Okay. My job is to deliver the content. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. While delivering the content, so however the way, like, so I need to deliver, like you have a, in understanding, you need more understanding. I can help you with that. No doubt in that. Okay.
Okay.
That's where you think about all the possibilities, by the way, from your side. You decide that, it is the thing that I wanted to learn. And from this Raghu only I wanted to learn, then I can help you. You have to come with a decision. Okay.
Okay.
So you think about all the possibilities. Just don't
Is
ask the
it
people like,
possible as a fresher, can I try the DevOps?
as a fresher, you can become Prime Minister of India also. Okay.
Thank you
There's a
so much for
possibility. There's a possibility. There are a lot of the current prime minister who started, like, he is basically a fresher to the that building, by the way.
politicals.
To the to the Lok Sabha. He's the first time entry to Lok Sabha.
Okay.
First time contested as a member of parliament. Okay. He's a fresher only.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't look at all this. That's what I'm telling you. You're looking at the wrong things. You're asking you about to someone is a very bad thing that you should stop, by the way. You know better about you than anyone. Okay.
Yeah.
So please take the decision. You're at least an adult, I'm thinking. Okay. Having
Yeah.
25 years of age at least.
Because I don't have much career guidance at my surroundings,
It's
so
also
that's
wrong.
why.
It's also wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
You are not looking for the information. It's not like
Yeah.
someone there will be always guide you, by the way. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there won't be anyone, by the way. It's all about you. Again, you're looking for someone only for that also. Okay. So please think about my answers will be little, like that only, because it's very difficult, by the way, because tomorrow you come to me and say that Raghu, you only told me is all easy, by the way, it's not working out. How can I help you?
Thank you so much.
You decide and you come, okay, and whatever it takes, you are taking it. I can definitely help you with that knowledge. That's what I'm telling again. Okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hi Raghu, the question is that the whatever the project you we will do it, right, once this course will be over in the mid of the course, right? So it is something that course is sufficient to add in my my resume to show that organization to fulfill the gap, right? Means the whatever the previous experience we have a different, but current we are moving into the DevOps. So these project is going to be adding a sufficient means milestone or capstone.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
We're not doing any small project, by the way. So we are taking an IBM project. And we take one of their pre-sales project, by the way, and we are going to deliver that only. So it is I mean, it's they generate millions of dollars from that. So that's where, okay, it's a serious project only. Tech-wise, it is serious. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And one sorry, the one more question is that once the course will be over within 3 or 3.5 4 months, right? Like if we have any doubt, right? Yeah, we will get the access for this course. This okay for 1 year. But if we have any queries, then how we need to be, how we need to come to you.
So there is a lab session, by the way, which continue for 1 year. We talked about, right? Your videos and your lab session will be accessible for 1 year. Okay. So you can still reach out there. Not an issue.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah. And also, since you raised it, actually, I thought of from today, you can just join the lab session if you are, having any questions with the AWS server connecting and anything. So you can just, so I'll give you the link here. Anyhow, this is a 1 week link only. After that, it will change.
Okay.
So here I'm keeping lab session link. This is the one. And timing is 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. Please convert that into your time zones. Okay. So with this link, you can do that. And again, if anyone is not aware of this particular link, I'm pinging on the chat for everyone.
Okay. Thank you.
Raghu, in this for this, how much coding is required to pursue this course? And second, like how many assignments will be getting to do like will be getting assignments on a daily basis?
We
That's
are doing a greenfield approach, and the greenfield approach means like I am going to do the things from scratch. Now, whatever I do in the 1.5 hour session, by the way, you need to replicate in your own environment. So that itself is an exercise. You know, to really have a separate exercise to be given to you. So it itself is an exercise. You need to understand what is told in the session. Okay. And with that particular understanding, you go to your lab and you need to replicate the things. And definitely you'll have some gap. There's a video which will help you, right? So you can go back and rewatch the video and try to bridge the gap, and you should be able to achieve that. So that is the first iteration. And I usually tell, like, at least you need to do 3 iterations. Maybe you complete the training, but after that, you need to do right from scratch, by the way. Again, you need to do the things again. Okay. So again, you'll find out maybe previously more gap was there. For the second iteration, there'll be less gap. Definitely you'll be having a gap as an ordinary person, I would say. So again, you go back to the videos properly, you make your own documents, like notes and all, you will refer that. You're able to do, so with little hurdle, you'll be able to do the second iteration. You have to go with the third iteration as well, ideally. And without looking at the video, without looking your notes, on your own, everything, the project setup, you should be doing on your own lab, in your own lab. And that's where you can consider yourself is ready to appear for an interviews generally. So that's where, so going back to your original question, so for the ask is, so you asked 2 questions, by the way. So first question is how much coding? I'll come to that. And second question was you're asking is about the assignment. So assignment itself is nothing but by the time whatever I do, you will be doing in your lab completely, by the way. Okay. Coming to the first question. Okay. That's a wrong question, I would feel, or at least for me, it is a wrong question, because how much coding means there is no meter or something like that to evaluate, by the way. So that question itself is wrong, by the way, I would say. So it's a coding is a coding.
no, coding in the sense I was asking, like if we're talking about the shell scripting, so how much in-depth shell scripting has been required? If it is a Python, like how many things? Like there is a basic Python which comes list, tuples, and all those things. So how much beyond we need to go into the Python extent? That's what I was asking.
There is no such thing. That's what I'm telling you. Your question is wrong. Your understanding is wrong about the code. Since you don't know the code, you are thinking like that.
Okay, so when I say like you have a Python in your content, so how you will make Python scripts to run into our project or assignments? Can you just give a little brief on that part? That will give me some kind of intuition to me.
Like how, in the sense there is a requirements, we'll write the requirements, by the way. No?
That's what I was asking. Like, how will you make use of Python script? Something like that. That's what I was asking.
But that does not cover the depth part you're asking, like quantity part. Depth, not depth, by the way, quantity.
Okay, okay.
You can't quantify that. That's what I'm telling. Okay, so this quantity is called as advanced, this quantity is called as basic, is all you actually putting on the perception, right? For a person who does the marathon, like let's say 42 kilometers, by the way, running is just maybe a normal, by the way. For a person, a 500 meters running is also like too much, by the way, right? It all depends, by the way, in the way that you are keeping it, right? If you generally look in like, it's just the kilometers or meters. I'm just looking that way because I need to correct you, because you're looking the things in a wrong dimension. That is not the way you should look in. Code is a code. Whatever it takes it, if the requirement is big, the lines become 1,000. If the requirement is small, it may complete in 10 lines. It's all about the requirement. Without that requirement word, if you talk like, quantify the things, it doesn't really matter. So that's where, if you ask me that question in such a way that we are not going with the hello world applications, we're going with a little serious project. So that's where always the things will, go to to an extent where it always becomes complex, by the way. So if you ask me how to write a hello world Python coder versus a project code definitely looks like a little bit complex only. So that's where I'm telling, we not only learn the Python, we'll implement the Python in project, that it becomes to an extent, okay, as a usable case also, it will be there. So,
got it.
Hey, hi Raghu.
Yeah.
Raghu, thank you for the session. Any specific reason why we created the instance on community AMI?
Because community, they just categorized again. AMI is just an AMI. They just categorized, by the way, for their organizing purpose.
Okay.
Okay. So whereas the AMIs, which is marketplace, is there. Okay. So if you go to the marketplace, then it is where is this? Browse AMIs. Yeah. If you go to the my AMIs, this is your AMIs. Otherwise, if you just, so remove this my AMI, by the way. So there are two types of AMIs: marketplace, community AMI. Marketplace is a place someone is selling their software. If you go to the marketplace and purchase, you have to pay the bill to them. And there are people who, like me, who actually, we pay the bill and give the AMI for free. Okay. So those are community AMIs, which is as a user for you in Amazon, it is a free for you. So that's where it is community AMI.
Okay.
It's
So,
just
yeah, sorry. I understand that. So why you didn't choose my AMIs from your account? Is it not shareable or?
No, it's already shared one only. That's how you are using it, right? You
Okay.
searched the AMI, which is my AMI only. DevOps-practice are my AMIs, those two AMIs.
Okay.
And I'm sharing with you. In one day, by the way, we need to make our own AMIs. We'll make our own AMIs. So that time we can start using my AMIs.
Okay.
Of course, not from the UI. Maybe it all becomes code, by the way. From the code itself, we'll try to use it.
Okay. Thank you, Raghu.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi Raghu. I want to know about the full details of this course and how much the fee for this course and how many months.
So it is going to take 3.5 months of time to complete this particular course. And what we cover and all, you can, in the same link you joined, by the way, you'll find the syllabus. You can check the syllabus from there.
And the fee, what the fee?
You can check with your organizer. Whoever has given the link, you can talk to them.
Okay. Is there any weekend sections like Friday to Saturday or Sunday weekend sessions?
No, we don't have.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, cool. Thanks everyone. See you in tomorrow then. Bye. Good day. Good night.